Today's COVID update is brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
And welcome back. Our final conversation this morning is with our friends from the Belize Tourism Board. We have with us the Director of Industry Development, Josue Carballo. Good morning, Josue.
Good morning, everyone.
We also have Grants Administrator Denmar VR. Good morning, Denmar.
Good morning.
And so our discussion this morning has to do with the BTB's Business Recovery and Enhancement Matching Grants Program. First of all, we need to understand what this is about and who the audience is that you're targeting in terms of this particular initiative.
Yes.
Let's start with you, Josue.
Well, good morning, everyone, once more. Thank you for receiving us. You know that we're in a tourism means business. Tourism definitely means the recovery stage that could assist a lot in our economy getting back on its feet.
Yeah.
And as such, through the BTB, we're working on a number of initiatives, out of which one of them is the matching business grants. It is our way of reaching out, particularly starting with the micro and small enterprises, the ones that are more vulnerable to this economic shock at the moment, and going forward. No? This is one, hopefully, of other grant programs or similar financing methods that we can use to assist the industry.
Yeah.
But we're starting off, like we said, with the micro and small. No? We found out that there are numerous needs, immediate needs. Among some, well, we have worked a lot on gold certification through the BTB. As of July, we had approximately over 1,150 applicants for gold standard. Out of them, probably close to 1,000 of them have already been certified. And the remainder, well, we're trying to find ways to bridge that gap to get them certified. Among the initiatives would be the business grant. We also have a health and safety kit that we'll be issuing out. We can also discuss a bit about that in a few. But when it comes to the matching grants, we are focusing on primarily on the small, micro and small enterprises, talking about entities that comprise over 25-30% of the tourism sector, which are the like the smaller tour guides, the ones that have the small artisanal shops, the personnel that basically has a small little restaurant with employees up to no more than 5.
Okay.
So we are looking at catering for particularly the emerging destinations within the country. And in reality, when you look at it, it's almost spread out nationwide. Belize has potential for tourism in almost every district. So we are focusing on a lot of the emerging destinations, on assisting gold standard certified applicants at the moment. And as we go along, we're definitely pushing to get to assist and create little booster programs between $1,000 to $5,000 in grant, but it is a matching grant. And
where would they get the other portion from?
Maybe I will allow Denmar to explain a little bit about that. Now, what does it mean to be a matching grant?
Before that, though, I want to be very clear. So people who are tuning in, we know that the loss of business is one thing, but there's also a restart cost. And I imagine that's kind of where you're hoping to help with these matching grants, that in order to get the business going again, some people need an injection of capital. But it's only for businesses that have 5 employees or less.
Yes. For this first phase.
Okay.
We plan to, we're working on other packages as we go along this year, but we're starting off with the micro and small.
Okay.
Can you expand on that, Denmar?
Yes, as Mr. Carballo said, this first program is going to be for the micro and the small enterprises. What we want to do is we want to assist to revitalize the industry. You know, COVID has a dent, slowed down business. So we want to assist in revitalizing with the small grants. So right now, that's why we're attending to the micro and the small. In the website and in our Facebook page of the BTB, there are the guidelines as to who can apply, who should apply, and take advantage. As the program names is matching grants. We will be requiring applicants to contribute 20% of the grant that they are applying for. There will be 3 tiers, $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 grants. But we encourage applicants to contribute 20% of that grant. Say, if you're applying for $5,000, we encourage you to contribute $1,250. That $1,250 does not have to be in cash. It can be a combination of cash or in kind from the applicant.
So it's like you set up a project, right? When you come, the first thing is to express that you're interested, which is the expression of interest. It's deadline coming this Friday. Then after that, we have a team that will review over your business profile. And then the second step would be to actually, once we do your cross checks and everything, then you're called and you're expected to go on a training. And this is very important because why we want you to contribute, there are numerous reasons. One, you know, when someone contributes, they feel more a part of their project.
Yeah.
That's one. Secondly, we want to know that you have the willingness, the capacity to continue the sustainability. But more so, there will be 2 very important concepts within this program. That's why it's a business enhancement program. One, when you do the training, if you're called upon to go ahead and take the next step and take the training, you're going to be given a rundown on how to create your business plan, a small project proposal. So you'll be guided hand by hand, step by step, how to go through this. But we will have an added component of biosecurity, a biosecurity component in it, in which we will make a little assessment of your business, and you could either use part of the grants for that, but we will also leave an assessment as to what would you need to continue operating within a healthy and safe environment. So we've gotten a really nice partnership with the Belize Red Cross in this sector, and they will also be assisting and contributing, partnering up with mini kits, which we shall give all applicants, all successful applicants. But the important thing is for people to understand and continue to enhance the importance of working, operating under strict biosecurity protocols.
So you have, you talked about the health and safety kits, but before we get to that, when we talked about eligibility requirements for the size of the business, but also tourism-related businesses can be many, and some have been entirely closed or working at a very small, with a small base, and some have been kind of diversifying, maybe trying to tap into the Belizean market. Who's the ideal candidate that you want to benefit?
Okay, we have defined approximately 7 subsectors that are listed in the website.
Okay.
We have the artisans, we have the tour guides, other tourist related. So we encourage applicants to visit the website, and we have clearly defined who should apply. We have set up a threshold where we want businesses that have no more than 5 employees. We're targeting the micro level, the hair braider that works out of the tourism village, out at Kikakar.
Okay.
We are not limiting, we are countrywide. We want to assist countrywide from Corozal all the way down to Toledo. Expressions of interest is the first phase where they submit a business profile. I am glad to say that over the past week we have been receiving numerous expressions of interest from applicants countrywide. All districts have applied, and the applications, as Mr. Carballo said, will be closing this coming Friday at 4 o'clock. Everything is being done electronically via the website.
Okay.
Everything is submitted electronically.
Our target is to reach a targeted number of around 300 MSCs, no? 300 MSCs. But more so, why we are targeting this subsector first, because in many aspects it's an informal economy. No, so we are trying as much as possible to create that capacity building. First of all, to understand concepts like business plans and project proposals and sustainability. Because apart from this, the BTV is also doing numerous studies to also look at what financing options are available post grant. So I know eventually through the DFC, through National Bank, through other commercial banks, they have some level of financing available. So BTB will also assist in guiding these entities, right from the micro right up to the small, medium, to be able to at least access or to give them the facilities, the information needed for them to take the next step. Because that is also key to whosoever is selected. We want to let them have a component of continuity, sustainability. This is a jump start, but gladly, and I'm saying it, at least for the past 3 months, we've seen a very good uptake in tourism. The growth is spike. We hope that if all of us do our parts, we can continue that, because we also are encouraging the whole vaccination campaign. As you know, BTB has been an active partner in that. But the greater we can control our spikes of COVID, the more particularly people within the sector are vaccinated. I believe that growth will occur. We believe that growth will happen going into the high season as well, going into October, November. So now is the time to prepare our people, no?
Yeah.
And
now, it's a grant, which means people don't have to repay the portion that is given to them by BTB once found eligible.
yes.
But how do you monitor that they're using the funds for that? What's the type of accountability that's built in?
Okay, that will come in our second phase of the grants. The first phase, like I said, would be the expression of interest and the submitting a business profile. Then there will be the eligible applicants will then undergo 2 trainings basically. One in biosecurity, how to handle their new businesses in the post-COVID. Secondly, as Mr. Caballo rightly stated, they will be given assistance in filling up business plans. What are you going to do with this money? Talk to me about your project. I am going to repair the facade of my business. I am going to, it depends what you're doing. There, we want the applicants to be a part of the project by thinking, this is how I'm going to invest the money. And to answer your question directly, Marlene, we are going to do a post-monitoring.
Okay.
We are going to visit you and see what was the outcome. As you rightly said, grants do not need to be repaid. But we need to ensure that the money was put to good use.
Yeah.
And
according to what they applied
yes.
for. Yeah.
And the main idea is to revitalize the industry, to give the industry that jump start at the micro and the small levels. Like Mr. Caballo said, once this is done, then they can open themselves to access financing from the banks, National Bank, DFC. We do believe that by us giving them that assistance, that teaching and how to formulate a business plan, that is what the other institutions ask them anyway.
Yeah.
So they will have like a little test run already on how to seek other financing.
And also, I think fear is fair. We believe that fear is fair, and so we will be monitoring, like you said, evaluating, monitoring, and giving, and they will be put in a list. If people don't later on correspond to, and we see it is not done well or anything, you also close yourself to future assistance. We believe that it has to be a I give, you give as well, and both of us win. So that is what we want to do, to ensure that people understand that there will be other programs. This is one of the first. We hope to continue and push and inject that needed boost into the economy, into the tourism sector. But we also need all grantee recipients to do their part. We will do our part to do all the checklists and so on, and we will also evaluate and monitor after.
Do you have to be from one of the major destinations to apply for the grant?
Not necessarily. If through your proposal and through your business profile, you do give a good case that you have been interacting with tourists and you are a contributor, then that will be looked at. Because in reality, Marlene, when you look at numerous studies done countrywide, almost every district has places that have been visited. And more so when we reopen to tourists. We were having a meeting with our Canadian counterparts, and for example, a lot of them are looking now to change the way they used to do things. They don't just want to come for the beaches and so on. A lot of them now say, well, let me try a lot more the inland now. Let me take my road trips in a safe country. Let me be able to touch the different corners of the country. And as such, BTV and collaborating with the Ministry of Tourism and Diaspora Relations, both of us have made numerous studies in different areas of the country, and so that will serve as a platform to choose these recipients.
What is the total earmarked for the grant? Are you at liberty to share?
Well, at this moment, we are embarking this first one, approximately $600,000 for this first phase, with contributions from the recipients. It's going to be a $750,000 program, and we have bigger ones coming up once we finish this first one, and we expect, if all goes well and doing all the processing, that we shall begin disbursements in August, here next month.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, Mark, just break it down for us again, because this in-kind part or matching grant, it's going to take some consideration for people.
Yes.
Let's say I don't have the funds. What type of in-kind contribution can I make?
Okay. The in-kind contribution can be in the form of your labor.
Okay.
You might have some materials already.
Okay.
And definitely the minimum that we'll be accepting is 20% in cash.
Okay.
So if we go back to the example, like I told you, of you seeking a $5,000 grant, your contribution is $1,250.
Yeah. That
Out
you
of-
have to put into this proposal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out of that $1,250, that is your contribution. Basically, cash is about $320. Cash.
Okay.
That will be requiring you to make a deposit, and that will be given back to you.
So let's say I have an idea to restart my business because tourism is starting to pick up. I took a huge hit. I want to access $5,000 from you. All I need to have cash is $350,
Correct.
but I must be able to show that I have materials
Yes.
or hours that I'm willing to put in
Correct.
of the value of $1,200 so that it can qualify as a matching grant.
Yes.
That is correct.
These are similar to guidelines established by previous matching grants in different levels. So,
Yeah.
so we're following the same, and
Yeah.
it is the willingness to work and put into your project as well.
All right, so people have to access this online.
Yes.
It's on the BTB site
And the Facebook page.
and the Facebook page, and the deadline?
It's this Friday.
This Friday.
This
Friday by 4 p.m.
Okay.
And just to highlight one other small initiative that is going together with this, or complementing this, I mentioned to you that we have approximately 150 entities still that need some push or the other to get gold standard certified. No? And the numbers keep growing as more applicants come in. So we notice that numerous of them, especially the smaller ones, don't even have access to a lot of the biosecurity equipment they need, the PPEs and so on. So through BTB as well, in August, we'll be working on 100 starter kits, 100 starter health and safety kits, which will be distributed in particular so to these entities that need that push to be gold standard certified, but also in collaboration with BTIA and so forth, we'll be distributing to other entities throughout the country. And each kit will be approximately $500 market value per kit, and it will include safety equipment needed for these COVID times.
What kind of equipment?
It's basically like masks and alcohol and sanitizing
Okay.
equipment and so on. And many of them, especially like the small little gift shops, things like that, they might be struggling to pay their workers or numerous other things. They can use this to give them between 2 to 3 months supply. And this will give them to be able to secure that component within the gold standard certification process that requires this equipment. So we're looking deep and trying to find the most vulnerable persons within the sector to give them that little push.
All right. And as you said, you'll help with some of the business plan development as well. So
Yes.
even if they aren't sure of the processes, they just have to put in their profile, and you're there to guide them through the rest.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Well, gentlemen, we hope that people take advantage of this opportunity, as I'm sure they will, because a lot of people want to get the ball rolling back on their businesses that are related to tourism, and this will be part of the assistance that they can access.
Definitely.
As you said, Jose, there's more to come?
Yes, we do plan to engage much more, like I said, on the industry development and other initiatives. We do plan to look at the vulnerability of our sector and be able to prepare more so as we go into this year's high season in October, November. So processes will come along and programs.
Well, thank you both for coming in and telling us all about it. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
All right. And once again, for those small and micro businesses that are interested, once you have 5 or less employees, you can access the application form online at the BTB's website and on Facebook. We're going to go ahead and take our final break now, and when we come back, we'll have more wrap-up, so stay tuned.
This COVID update was brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.